Let's solve the following equation given the functions above. Okay, so f of x equals negative 2x. Okay, so I want to solve then the equation. The square root of x plus 5 is equal to negative 2x. All right, so we know to get rid of a square root, we need to square both sides. Okay, that's not surprising. Okay, but the thing we need to watch out for is that when you square both sides of an equation, you kind of mess around with the potential signs of x, and so you could end up with extra solutions that are false. Okay, so we need to check them, called extraneous solutions. Okay, we're gonna have to check to make sure that we don't have any of those when we're finished this problem. Okay, but for now, we're good. Let's solve this resulting equation. It looks like a quadratic because it has this x squared term as the highest exponent. All right, so let's get everything on one side. I'm going to subtract x from both sides and subtract 5 from both sides to get me this nice quadratic equation, 4x squared minus x minus 5. Okay, and then I'll go through and factor 4x minus 5 and x plus 1. May need to review factoring. Go back and look at the factoring quadratic section. Okay, so that's how we would factor it. Then we use the zero product principle to set each part equal to 0. So 4x minus 5 could equal 0. X plus 1 could equal 0. If I solve them both, add 5 to both sides on the first one. 0 plus 5 is 5. Divide both sides by 4. And I end up with 5/4. On the right side, if I subtract 1 from both sides, I get negative 1. Okay, so these are not my solutions. These are my potential solutions. Remember, we need to check for extraneous solutions. Okay, so let's go back to the original equation, which said the square root of x plus 5 equals negative 2x. Okay, let's plug them in one at a time. Okay, so let's do the first one. The square root, leave some space to plug in some x values here. Let's use purple. That sounds like a good color to use. All right, so 5/4 and 5/4. Okay, so that's going to be the square root of 5/4 plus, I need to write 5 as something over 4. So I'll just multiply by that denominator. 5 times 4 is 20. So 20/4, that's another expression for 5. That works. Okay, and that equals negative 2 times 5/4. It's going to be negative 5/2. Okay, 5/4 plus 20/4 is 25/4. And then I take the square root of the fraction. Just do the square root of the top and the square root of the bottom. That gives me 5/2 equals negative 5/2. Well, that is clearly not right, so I can eliminate 5/4 as an answer, as a solution. Okay, so now let's go to the next potential solution. I feel a little bit better about this one here. Okay, so negative 1 plus 5 is 4, so that's the square root of 4. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. The square root of 4 is 2, and it happens to equal 2. So check, this one works out okay. So negative 1 is a solution. Negative 1 is the only solution.